Is that fine right there? I hope it is. What will change if Joe Biden wins the election? Small business loans, funding software projects within the So I have been wondering what will change if Joe Biden wins the election, which it seemed that he has. One area I put some thought into is the technology area. Now my predictions are based on being in the software industry. At this point, I feel like I am an expert in the industry, or at least a self-proclaimed expert. This industry changes so aggressively fast that anyone who says that they are an expert today is not a few years later. There are three big things to look out for in the coming term of a Joe Biden presidency. Many industries will change. First of all, if you are in the energy industry, your job may be at risk if it is not around clean energy. The writing is on the wall, but it is very apparent when you watched the previous presidential debate when Biden declared that he wanted to build 500,000 charger stations for electric vehicles. This is going to be compounded by the fact that Joe Biden will most likely work to get rid of tens of billions of subsidies from this industry and probably do two things. For most people, filling up the tank, I don't see prices going up too much, but I do see supply increasing. The cost of gas may actually go down as Biden may encourage states by giving subsidies to electric vehicles or clean power. So again, if you're in the oil industry, the writing is on the wall. Another industry, for example, that should change immensely is healthcare. Now there are many innovations that has happened in the last 4 years, but the future should contain the fruits of the investments made in the past. Currently, we have machine learning in medicine that can predict a diagnosis and a cure on the fly. Also, the US can automate manufacturing of medicine, and not only in large quantities, but with research capabilities to scale out research processes of menial tasks of testing different compounds. All of these major advancements add to Joe Biden's biggest push, and I believe we'll be finally finding a cure for cancer. This is a long shot, I know, but if you believe in the impossible, I believe it could be pushed to the likes of putting a man on the moon. Biden has mentioned this before with the fact that his son has passed with a form of brain cancer. Medical research tech companies will most likely be the biggest winners, even if a cure is not found. Will this be an international effort or a race to the moon? Comment below what you think will happen. In the terms of international industries, Joe Biden will try to bring together and reignite alliances created post-World War. The ability to compete within the global market will be even more apparent. Today, this mostly applies to nations through complex trade deals, but companies will have to wake up to the fact that they will have to guard their own technologies. If they are in manufacturing, companies will have to find even more ways to securely distribute their supply chains. This will mean more manufacturing companies will open up across the world and more technologies to handle distribution. It's kind of like the internet. If some of the network and the servers go down, other parts of the network can pick up some of the traffic from the crash. The internet is a confusing, multi-layered behemoth. There is no one user who can understand it all. And for my second prediction, under a Biden administration, I believe there's going to be a push for user protection expansions. This is in the terms of privacy, company code of conduct, but future of reducing federal or presidential powers in this area are limited. It seems in the past few years, privacy has become a hot topic of debate. What powers does the state have when they get a warrant to your phone? Does a manufacturer have to comply to create a backdoor to the device? Apple, the company's stance, is to make it impossible. Other companies like Facebook say that your information is private, but that is just not the case. In a Biden administration, I believe there will be a push to be more aligned with Europe's right to be forgotten. Most likely, the US will probably come up short to Europe's right to be forgotten and only be able to reach to have personal data to be protected and private. Since explaining of the US expanding its healthcare capabilities, the US will most likely reach to the standard of the HIPAA federal law. This would mean heavier penalties if data is compromised. The catalyst for data protection legislation has not been very popular, but as services become increasingly cloud-based, the push for requiring data to be secure will be even more apparent. Companies will be formed just on providing tools for encryption and data protection. Sharing data between third-party services may have to be legally certified. If you've gotten this far in the video, congratulations! You can support this channel by clicking the subscribe button and leave a comment below of what your personal thoughts are. And points go out to comments on my third prediction. The Joe Biden presidency will try to tighten the rules on the banking and financial industry, but ignore the software giants. In short, these giants will become the new banks. If you pay for something, cash is no longer king. Previously, when Joe Biden was vice president under a Obama administration, they signed the Dodd-Frank Act that reformed the financial industry. Trump's administration took up the effort to loosen some of its revisions. It is likely that more regulations will come, giving a window of opportunity for tech companies. For example, Facebook is trying to create its own unified cryptocurrency called Libra, which the US Congress has many reservations against this idea. Apple has been trying to convert all of its users to use Apple Pay with its wallet and Goldman Sachs credit card offerings. In China, WeChat Pay, you can pay a bill or a product just by scanning a QR code. In WeChat Pay, you can split a dinner bill with a group of friends and also pay for utilities, give out virtual red packets of money, and pay for transportation, all within a simple application. Now, for the folks writing all of this financial payment software, it doesn't mean much, but new questions of ethics of all of this will come into play. Your bank wallet is tracked by a company, say Google. Google controls that number of your bank. Can Google use the funds in your account for other investments like mortgages, personal lines of credit, small business loans, funding software projects within the Google ecosystem? If you can bank with a tech company, it will now be like banking with a company that you believe in. Do you want to invest in a company that uses your information for ads, or a company that keeps your information private like Apple? Who would you want to keep your money safe? Thank you for listening. Let us know your predictions below, and please subscribe if you enjoyed listening.